presenter for Bureau Engineering. Spencer is Bureau Sanitation, and if the need arises, needs to rescue me, then
That's not going to happen this morning. Okay, Edward, cool. I will make you a panelist when we get to item number 4. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Assad. I see your hand raised.
Good morning, TJ. Yeah, I'm representing BSL, but we don't have any items, so I don't think you need to promote me, but in case...
I want to promote you. Okay, cool. Thank you, Assad.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Hi, Ethan.
Hi, TJ.
You're the rep for BOE this morning, correct?
I am, and I'm also going to be presenting for item 3.
Okay, I had Brett Perry. I will put you in his place.
Yeah, Brett's going to assist as well. So we'll
okay. All right. Cool. So as Bureau Rep, I'll change you to panelist, but you don't have to put your video on if you don't want.
Well, I'm going to start the presentation, and Brett will answer questions as needed.
On 3. Okay. So I'll wait till 3 then to promote you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool.
Nope.
Hi, Jesus Gonzalez.
Yes, TJ. Morning. Jesus from BPW. Just want to confirm that item 10 is going to be removed from the agenda.
Jesus, item 10 has a request from executive staff at the Bureau of Sanitation to be withdrawn. So that will likely be withdrawn from the board's agenda today, but since it has been included on our agenda, we do have to make that motion, but it's likely that it will. So I'm sorry to give you that answer. I can't give you a straight yes, it's going to be removed, but that is the process that we will take. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So in our case, we're interested in making a comment. I don't want to make the comment if it's going to be removed.
Right. So what? I know this is time-consuming for you, but the only way that I can ensure that it will be removed is if you wait until the item is called, and it's item 10, and we do have a number of items that potentially have some discussion before that.
Oh, not a problem. I mean, I'll stay on, but if we get to the item, and let's say it is going to be presented, then I would like the opportunity to make a comment.
Okay, got it.
So don't worry about my time. I'll stay on for however long.
I'm just making a note, if not withdrawn, I'll make sure that you're identified and that you get your time to speak.
Appreciate it. Perfect.
Cool. Thank you, Jesus. I see a caller ending in 682. Caller ending in 682. If you would *6 and unmute. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Dr. Tom Williams. I'll be speaking on public comment number 1, number 3, number 10, number 11. Short comment,
1, 3, 10, and 11.
1,
is that
3,
accurate?
10, correct, and public comment.
1, 3, 10, and 11, and public comment, right, Dr. Williams?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And again, item 10 may get withdrawn.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Hi, City Attorney Ted Jordan. I see your hand raised. I will promote you to panelist. Sorry.
Yes, thank you. That's why I had my hand raised.
Okay, sorry about that.
No
I
worries.
was getting a little bit of a late start this morning. Hi, Rowena Lau. I see your hand raised.
Hello? Hi, TJ.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi.
I just wanted
Morning.
to check in. I'm the board rep for sanitation.
Yeah, got it. Yes. So, I'm sorry. Typically, does Fernando promote board reps to panelists, or does he just await whether input is needed from
Right.
board reps?
Typically, he awaits until there is
Yeah.
input. We're
Okay.
on standby.
Thank you, Assad. Cool. All right, thank you, Rowena. Thank you for identifying yourself and checking in with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so TJ, just kind of keep your eyes out, because if one of our board reps raises their hand, I want them to
Okay.
be promoted to panelists.
Okay, cool. Got it. Thank you, Ted. Hi, Domingo.
Hey TJ, how are you? I don't know if you could see or hear me.
I can hear you.
Different setup this morning.
Can't see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I think I've lost some of the functionality on the Zoom, or maybe that's part of it as it being a webinar. I'm not sure, but I should be a panelist for item 2.
Yes.
Along with Janelle Gardia.
And let me see if I see Janelle in the list. Janelle, could you raise your hand if you are here? If she's not here, I see her. Okay, cool. Got it. I will promote both of you guys when we get to item 2. Domingo. Janelle
Thanks, TJ.
and Domingo. Thanks a lot. Are there any other public commenters or folks who want to speak on? Hi, Hector. I see you. I see your hand raised. You are here for item 1. Oops. There we go. Hi, Hector.
Yeah, hi, TJ. Okay, yeah, I'll be here for item number 1.
Got it. Yes. Okay. Cool. And is Roosevelt on the line? Roosevelt Bagby from BCA. He has a number of items 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I'll monitor for him to join. Hopefully he will join. And is there anyone else who is attending who I have not called on, who wishes to speak, who wishes to offer commentary on an agenda item or on public comment? If so, would you please raise your hand at this time? Hi, Joanne. I will. If you could please unmute yourself.
Yes, this is Joanne D'Antonio,
Yes.
and I'd like to speak on item 5.
Thank you, Joanne. And we have received your written public commentary on item 5 as well.
Thank
And
you.
so
TJ,
yes.
this is Ted. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
I want to make sure Joanne, I think she probably wants to speak on item number 1 and not item number 5. Of course, we're happy to hear her comment on item number 5, but that's a subcontractor substitution. The tree removal item is item number 1 on the agenda. Is that correct, Joanne?
I actually am not speaking on number 1.
Okay, there's some contractor substitution then is item number 5.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the subcontractor on item 5.
Joanne, my apologies.
That's no problem. I can understand.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
All right. Yeah.
Cool. Got it, Joanne. I have you down for offering commentary on item number 5. Again, a reminder to all folks who are going to offer public commentary, there is a 2-minute limit for your commentary on each item. And I see a couple more hands raised. Brett Perry. Hi, Brett.
Good morning. This is Brett Perry, just from LASAN checking in. I'll be backing up Ethan on item number 3. Just wanted to check in.
Cool. Thank you, Brett. Let me make a note on item 2. Yeah, I have you down.
Thank you.
Cool. And Sherry Simons. Hi, Sherry.
Yes, for item number 12?
Yes, got it. The special agenda. Got it. Cool. I have you down. It's going to be a little while before we get there, but thank you for checking in.
Okay.
And just make a note. And let's see, I have a caller named Elizabeth. If you please press *6, unmute yourself, and identify which items you want to speak on.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I'm representing the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council, who shares Olympic Boulevard with the Pio Pico Neighborhood Council. And we submitted comment and request time to speak on item number 1.
Got it. Thank you, Elizabeth. I've made a note. And again, 2-minute limit on your commentary for item 1.
Sorry, we're not speaking as the public. We're speaking as a neighborhood council.
It's repping neighborhood council. Cool. Got it. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth.
PJ, this is Ted. Do you have
Yes.
a copy of the neighborhood councils? I think typically when they speak as a neighborhood council, if it's going to be under that neighborhood council comment category, we typically get from the neighborhood council representative, the resolution or the community impact statement that they filed with the city clerk regarding the agenda item. Otherwise, it's just general public. Otherwise, it's just public comment.
Thank you, Ted. Elizabeth, hopefully you heard that question. If not, I can repeat it. Elizabeth, typically a resolution is filed with city clerk if you are speaking or representing the neighborhood council. I haven't received it. If you have, if you filed that and emailed it to Dr. Campos or someone else on the board.
So we were unable to do that because we were given no notification, whereas in the past we've been notified for projects on Olympic Boulevard since it is shared between the 2 districts. The 2 neighborhood councils. We have not received any notification of this, so our request is that it be put off so that we have time. As well, we've struggled with the continued use of special meetings and replacement regular meetings, meaning the actual notification that we received just for this meeting, seeing it was 10:15, was just yesterday, and then the correction just late yesterday afternoon that it was 10 a.m. and not. So we were not able to because we were not notified of the tree removal or given timely.
Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. Ted.
So
we'll take the. We're not in the meeting yet, so they'll be provided time to make comment.
Excellent. Thank you.
I mean, our presiding officer will, run that.
Got it. Thank you, Ted. Janelle, I see your hand raised. If you could unmute yourself. Hi.
Hi. Okay. The setup's a little bit weird, and I wasn't sure if you were going to hear me. So we're good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for checking in, Janelle. Anyone else in the attendee list who would like to offer commentary on any of our items or on public comment this morning who has not already identified yourself? Please raise your hand at this time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lower the hands of the folks who already, so that way I don't get confused. Okay, one more call for anyone who wishes to offer commentary on our general public comment or any of our items. Please, at this time, raise your hand. Okay, I see, Joanne, you keep raising your hand.
Yes, I actually would like to speak on one to give a clarification of the issue of notification.
On item 1 as well now. So
yeah,
you've added.
On item 1 is fine. Yeah, because after I heard the other attendee, I can give some clarification.
Okay, excellent. So I have you down for item 1 and item 5 too.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to lower your hand this time. Okay, one more call. Anyone else who is in the queue who wishes to offer public commentary or comment on any of our items? Please raise your hand at this time. Last call. Okay, thank you. And one more call for Roosevelt. Roosevelt Bagby, if you're in, can you please raise your hand? You're scheduled to present on a number of items today for BCA. Okay, I don't see you. I don't see a hand raised. Thank you. All right, let me see who is in. I see 3 of I see VP Garcia, and I see Dr. Davis, and I see Commissioner Caloza.
And TJ, Commissioner Villegas is out today.
Excellent. Thank you so much, VP Garcia. Okay, so it looks like we are ready to go. Let me know. Let me know when you want me to start the recording.
We can start.
Cool.
Great. Well, good morning, colleagues. Good morning, everyone on the panel, and good morning to our public as well. And welcome to today's regularly scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Friday, March 11, 2022. TJ?
Good morning, Vice President Garcia. Good morning, President Pro Tem Davis, Commissioner Caloza. We do have a quorum. We are also joined by City Attorney Mr. Ted Jordan. We have one speaker card under public comment, and we have speaker cards under items 1, 3, 5, 10, and 11. We do have one speaker representing Neighborhood Council under item 1.
I'm sorry, TJ, did you say we have public comment?
We do. Yes, we do.
Okay. I believe we'll take public comment and then we take the Neighborhood Council comment. And then we'll move into our agenda.
So let me just clarify,
Okay.
VP Garcia, the Neighborhood Council comment is not on public comment, but it's specific to item 1.
Okay.
So I don't know if we take that as, I think we would wait until item 1, but let me ask if our city attorney can clarify.
Yes, so as Mr. Knight pointed out, neighborhood council comment is sort of a specific category on our agenda and pursuant to the code. My recommendation is, because the neighborhood council comment is for the specific item, that we take the neighborhood council's comment when we hear item number 1.
Okay.
And just that way all the comments for agenda item number 1 are going to be heard together. I think it's better for the record.
Okay, no problem. So we'll move on to, well, we do have public speakers, right? On general public speakers, TJ?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have Dr. Tom Williams. If you would like to, yes, Tom Williams, if you would please unmute yourself, and you have 2 minutes to offer public commentary.
Is it open?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Dr. Tom Williams, previously LA 32 Neighborhood Council, but this is not a Neighborhood Council issue. We're quite concerned about the lack of mulch and compost at various locations that used to be around, and we were wondering when the Bureau of Sanitation will start providing free compost and mulch on Mission Road and in Lincoln Heights and other places. We are using mulch and compost, thank you very much, from the Griffith Park, but it's a long way there and a long way back. And last time I was there were 5 vehicles waiting to load up. So please, if you can, get the mulch and compost back to, I think it was 10 or 12 locations throughout the city. It's a good product, and it's very useful and reduces the amount that goes to the Central Valley. So please, that's all.
Great, thank you, Dr. Williams. TJ, is that the end of public comment?
Yes, that concludes public comment.
Thank you. Public comment is now closed. Now we'll move on to the second item of today's business, the approval of the minutes of Friday, February 25th, 2022. Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward?
So moved.
Thank you. Take that as a second, Caloza. DJ, we have, I moved it forward, and Commissioner Caloza has a second on the approval of the minutes.
Yes.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And do you want to take roll call for that?
Shall we? Okay, very good.
Usually, Fernando does, that's why.
Okay, will do. VP Garcia, Vice President. Thank you. Commissioner Commissioner Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And thank you, Commissioner Davis. And Commissioner Caloza, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries unanimous all ayes.
Thank you. Forthwith, please.
Yes, thank you.
Got it. All right, colleagues, we're moving on to our agenda. This is agenda item number 1. This was a continued agenda from Friday, February 25th, 2022. This is in Council District 10, a tree removal on 1010 South Kenmore Avenue and West Olympic Boulevard, recommending the board to 1, find that the project as a whole is categorically exempt pursuant to Section 15332, Class 32 of the State Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and there is no substitutional evidence the proposed project will have significant effect on the environment, is in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. 2, find that none of the exceptions to the use of categorical exemption as set forth in Section 15300.2 of State CEQA guidelines apply. 3, specify that the Bureau of Street Services Urban Forestry Division, located at 1149 South Broadway, is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. 4, review and approve the request for a fee permit for the removal of 4 trees, which include 2 pink trumpet and 2 tipu trees. Tree replacements are required. And 5, concur with the Bureau of Street Services determination that the site cannot feasibly accommodate all of the required replacement trees, and pursuant to LAMC 62.177C, authorize the tree replacement guarantee fee to satisfy the board's tree planting requirement. And I think we have Mr. Bañuelos here. Hector, are you around? I don't see you on my camera, but if you're here.
Yes, I'm here, Commissioner.
All right, go. Ready to hear your presentation?
I'm sorry to interrupt. We do have a number of public comments on the item, so
you are
if you want to
absolutely right.
hear those
Thank
first,
you.
including neighborhood council comment.
Yes, and I had it here, and I did not see my notes. Thank you very much, Ted, for the reminder. Hector, thank you for that also. Don't go on yet. Let's take public comment and neighborhood council comment as well. TJ, you want to?
Yes, thank you, Mr. City Attorney and Vice President Garcia. Mr. Garrison, I have asked you to unmute, and you'll have 2 minutes to offer your commentary on item 1.
Thank you. This is Mylan Garrison with Maxim Development, representative for the property owner. We had an opportunity to meet and discuss the item with the Pico Union Neighborhood Council yesterday. And we, after having some valid discussions about process and what our issues were with that process, we all came to a unanimous agreement that if upon approval, that the permit fee would be paid by the developer. And in addition, we offered to the neighborhood council that the developer would be willing to provide some additional trees to the neighborhood council that they could plant at their preference to certain locations that they would deem appropriate, and make that as maybe they can use that as a opportunity to identify some deserving members of the community and plant those trees in their honor. Although that's a small concession, I think it's something that would be beneficial to both the neighborhood council and the community at large, and that we're more than willing to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garrison. I'm gonna ask you to mute again at this time. If we could have Tom Williams. Tom Williams, if you would please unmute yourself.
Good morning, Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community. Regarding Parkway tree removal, real problem for me is finding out where they're going to put the trees, how many are put in, and how long they survive. I think it's supposed to be for 3 years. So I'd highly recommend that Bureau of Engineering or somebody form a web page for an annual update of what happened in 2021 to such trees, the tree replacement guarantee fees, where the trees were put by neighborhood council or CD district, and then for this year, quarterly. That is now, then two or three more till the end of the year on the same web page as what happened in 2021. Because I went through the Quimby process, and I say we found that there was a huge amount of money being saved by the city treasurer because he could take the interest payments on the deposited accounts, 150 million. So I'd like to see a web page for street trees, parkway trees specifically, and how they're being removed and replaced on a quarterly basis for this year, and an annual survey summary for last year. That's all.
Thank you, Tom Williams. Our next speaker in queue is Neighborhood Council Member Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm going to ask you to unmute at this time. Elizabeth,
Okay.
you could please. Hi.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Israelowitz. I am representing the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council. There is a concern because Olympic Boulevard is actually part of our area. So the address that was put on here, even though it includes Olympic Boulevard, from what we can tell, meant that we were not notified, which is a serious concern. I would also like to point out that the fact that outreach was done just in the past, commenced in the past day to Neighborhoods Council, and that POPICO was not able to get any of that in writing and submit anything to you guys, means that this item should be stayed until next month so that POPICO, as well as ourselves, are able to vote on this item and have the type of discourse that we are supposed to be having. Again, Olympic Boulevard is part of our area, and we have submitted responses to tree notifications for other items on Olympic Boulevard, including 3170. And so until we are notified and able to discuss this, it should not be voted on today. I'd also like to note that the regular meetings, as we've been told by the city attorney, that we are given a turnaround time of 3 days, 72 hours to post it. And so the late posting of this, at least as we've been told by the city attorney, we've had to cancel our meetings when the regular meetings were posted less than 72 hours, made it extremely difficult for anyone from our NC and likely anyone from POPICO to be able to attend today. So that is just something that, especially if, as you guys called it, this is a regular meeting, just stymies the public's ability to engage in the process, which I'm sure is not what this board is intending to do, but it really makes it very difficult for the public. In general, we are against the tree removals, but we would like to, again, have that discussion. I'm really glad that the member of the public brought up mulching and compost. I would say that the city, before extending those services, as much as I understand they're very much needed, needs to be using that mulch and compost to ensure that it's enriching the soil, which as of right now, there is no soil being used to plant these new trees. It's sand. And that compost is regularly being used to suppress weeds and give the trees that are being planted a fighting chance. The fact that the city has these resources and is not using them seems like a waste of money, especially because it just means that the trees die and then need to be replanted, and you guys are pretty much just watering, sadly, corpses. And we've seen this along major corridors in our area and POPICO, including Western. So again, it does count as in our district. Unfortunately, the address that was provided meant that we did not get notification. And so we are asking that this not be voted on today, but it just be put off until either, I don't know when your next meeting is, I think it's in 2 weeks, but at least to your next meeting, if not actually preferably till April, so that we can bring this to our general board with sufficient time. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm going to put you back on mute for now. We do have one more commenter on item 1. Joanne. Go ahead, Joanne.
Hi, this is Joanne D'Antonio. I'm chair of the Trees Committee for the Neighborhood Council Sustainability Alliance, and in that capacity, I'm copied on every tree removal notice to a neighborhood council. I'm also a member of CFAC, but I'm speaking as an individual. I can verify that this neighborhood council was not notified, and I believe this is a border area, and when we have around the corner trees, the done person that doesn't always, well, never really knows unless both addresses are listed. And I understand with buildings, they usually only have one address. So it is kind of a snafu there that this neighborhood council wasn't notified back in November when the other one was. As far as replanting trees, right now urban forestry is providing 5 years of watering, and they are planting tree guarantee fee trees all clustered together so watering can take place. If these new trees are scattered, there's really no way to provide watering for them unless the developer is going to provide it. And in the heat of the summer, these trees really don't survive without a watering commitment. And urban forestry is does not have the capacity to run around to individual trees. They have been planting tree guarantee fee trees. I have the lists. They are being planted, but they're planted all in one area so that LA Conservation Corps or some other entity can water them. One more thing, these tree locations where the trees are being removed, lighting and DWP, we don't think that Bureau of Lighting and DWP is really addressing where they're putting their items, their utilities, and very often they're right where the trees are in these tree poor areas like this Wilshire Koreatown corridor or neighborhood council area, or Pico Union. It really, Board of Public Works needs to really get in touch with DWP and Bureau of Street Lighting to make sure that they really avoid trees. As far as the driveway that's taking out the
Thank you, Joanne. That's you're exceeding the 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
All right.
I'm going to mute you at this time. There is one additional, before we conclude our commentary on this item, there is one additional attendee with their hand up. I'm going to allow them to talk and see if they wish to offer commentary on item 1. Calling user 1, attendee with calling user 1, if you'd please identify which item you'd like to offer commentary on, if any.
Good morning. I'm calling regarding this item.
And can I have your name, please, ma'am?
Yeah, I'm a stakeholder. I would just like to say I'm concerned about a statement that was made that for the tree removal to take place, that the neighborhood council would be responsible for the replacement trees. As a stakeholder, it's my understanding that neighborhood councils are advisory only and that this should not be their responsibility. I would appreciate the clarification on if they are truly able to take responsibility for replacement trees. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, stakeholder. If you would please give me a first name or some name to
Mr.
identify.
Knight, that's fine. She's
okay.
She's provided sufficient identification.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. So that concludes our commentary on item 1.
Thank you, TJ, for that, and thank you to the callers as well. All right, Hector, you ready?
Yes. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Vice President Garcia, Commissioners. Hector Banuelos here with Streets LA Urban Forestry Division. What we have before us is a request for a fee permit to remove 4 trees at 1010 South Kenmore Avenue at the southeast corner of Kenmore Avenue and Olympic Boulevard here in Council District 10. The applicant here is requested to remove 4 trees as, in order for them to allow construction of a 126-unit residential and commercial mixed-use commercial building here. It is, there are also, according to a letter of recommendation, there are also 13 dwelling units that are assigned or going to be dedicated for extremely low-cost housing as well. In order for the development to construct a driveway, there are 2 trees that need to be removed. There are 2 large Tijuana tipler trees growing under some power lines. They're continually topped by water and power. Really, the trees are growing in very restricted growing space, about 4 feet wide. The trees are very large. They can get very large very quickly. But they are healthy. They are in fair condition. And unfortunately, though, they are within the footprint of the proposed driveway. And the project is currently under construction, and the construction is well underway. And the trees need to be removed in order for the tenants, or the soon-to-be tenants, and patrons have access to the development. There are also there is 1 tree though on Kenmore. It's a floss oak that will be retained in place. The applicants did initially request for removal, but the Urban Forest Division determined that there is really no just cause to remove that tree, and so that tree is to be retained in place. There are also 2 trees up on the Olympic Boulevard side. One tree is going to be impacted by a transformer involved by water and power. Initially, the applicant wanted to install that identified installation of that transformer vault up on Kenmore side, which wouldn't have impacted any trees. However, there are overhead wires, and according to water and power, they cannot safely stage their crane and other apparatus there to install and or perform required future maintenance on that transformer vault. So therefore, they had to move the transformer up on Olympic Boulevard side, which happens to be right where a tree is growing. So with that tree is going to be impacted and required removal in order for water power to install the transformer. And 1 additional tree just east on the east side of the property line of this project here. That tree is going to be impacted by a relocation of a street light. According to Bureau of Street Lighting, they have to move that street light. They cannot move the street light further west because there's another street light there. And so they have to go east, which will then cause the need to remove that 1 trumpet tree on the adjacent property. So there was now 2 trees being removed there on Olympic Boulevard, 2 pink trumpets. Their size is about 6 inches in diameter, approximately, by about 15 feet in height. So they're not very large trees. However, there are healthy trees, and they will be replaced if approved. There's only room to plant. After all the infrastructure is in, there'll only be room to plant 1. They're going to replace it with a pink trumpet tree on Olympic Boulevard. Over on the Kenmore side, if the permit is approved, the applicant, there appears to be room for 5 trees on that side. There'll be Australian willows. Those are appropriate for planting in these. It's going to be looks like to be a smaller growing space, about 4 feet parkways. So the Australian willows will grow well there in that area. They are drought tolerant trees, and there's only room for 5. So in total, there'll be 6 trees to be planted. The replacement of the 4 trees to be removed. The additional 2 trees to meet the 2-to-1. We're asking that the board allow the applicant to pay the tree planting guarantee fees for 2 trees. And so the council office, CD Council District 10, the Neighborhood Power Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, and the Community Forest Advisory Committee were informed of the tree removal permit request back in September of last year. And the trees were posted of September of last year as well. There were plenty of notifications sent out. I heard a comment about the particular neighborhood councils that were not notified. However, we notify the department because there's so many neighborhood councils and there's so many representatives that come and go that the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment does their best to notify all the respective neighborhood councils that are affected by any tree removals in their respective areas there, pursuant to the application. and the tree removal permit request. So it's the board recommendation that the board, it's the Bureau's recommendation that the board approve the request to remove the 4 trees for this particular project. That concludes my presentation. I'm here to address any questions that the board may have.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bañuelos, for your report there, and thank you to the callers as well. Colleagues, any questions on this item? Dr. Davis, any questions?
Yes, Mr. Bañuelos, do we have the support of the council office? And we've had some discussion with them about this particular project.
No, we did not receive a response from the council officer, Commissioner.
Okay, so we did present to them the facts regarding the motion and the case here, but we just have not heard back from them yet, right?
Yeah, they were given the notifications, so we just have not received a response from the council office.
In our contact with the various community individuals, how did we contact the community in terms of notification about our plans for moving forward on this project?
We notify the council office, we notify the Community Forestry Advisory Committee, the membership gets notified, and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. It is the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment does their best to notify all the affected neighborhood councils that are applicable to the application within the areas.
Now, you tell me that this is in the 10th district, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, what kind of responses did we hear from those contacts that we made?
I received many emails from a lot of people regarding regarding this request here. I received a letter from the Pico Union Neighborhood Council. We received various correspondence. All were informed of the tree removal notification site. All tree removal permit requests for 3 or more are posted on our tree removal notification site.
Sure.
All available to the public. And all the individuals that inquired about the project here were informed to post on the notification so they may be notified of the hearing date.
Okay, that's what we did, but
No, we did it. Our Bureau did it.
My question to you is, what kind of responses did you receive from the constituents? For example, you mentioned a letter. What did the letter say?
That they're opposed to removals, basically.
Okay. So how many other oppositions or support did we receive?
I don't know the number of that, Commissioner, so I'm not sure if I really get just that question. There's several. I can't count them all. There were several.
So we did receive several letters of people who were supporting it, and then several of those who were opposed to it, correct?
No, I don't believe I received anything in support outside of the applicant. It was all been in opposition of the tree removal.
Okay, so we received several letters of people who've had some concern about our moving forward with this particular project. Is that right?
That's correct.
And could you just summarize for me, if you will, what some of the concerns they expressed were in their letters?
The concerns were the removal of the trees. They don't want trees removed. I don't want trees removed either. However, in order to allow a contractor or the developer to construct, the trees are going to need, they're not going to survive the impact. They need access to the development of the driveways, and they need to install their transformer vault to have power to the development, and they need to relocate a street light pursuant to Bureau of Street Lighting. And so therefore, the 4 trees I can't see them doing any of the items I just mentioned without removal of the trees, unfortunately.
I see. So you're saying that these trees are in such a critical position that there are no alternative that you can think of that will allow us to save any one of the 4 trees. Is that right?
That is correct. We always consider the alternatives before even making a recommendation for removal of a tree.
Great. Okay, and so what is the, who do we have in the 10th district? We have one particular person that we go to that we present our issues to, and then they usually respond back to us that they support, or if they have a problem with it, they'll tell the board or they'll let you know that they oppose it, right?
Usually, yes.
And so we've not heard anything from the 10th district on this?
No, I have not.
I want to hear from the 10th District on this. Would it be a problem for us to hold this until Wednesday of next week so we can hear from the 10th District?
Yeah, give me yes, Dr. Davis, I'm in support of that, if anything, but let me see what Ted, our city attorney has to say. Ted, I know you raised your hand. It's the only
I
reason
did,
why.
thank you. Let me lower my hand if I can figure out how to do that. Just for maybe some additional background. This is not a new project that is sort of in its conception stage. This is a project that is substantially in construction already and went through a site plan review before the city planning department, received an approval that was subject to appeal through the city planning process. That was done in the year 2020. And there was a notice of exemption under CEQA prepared and filed at that time as well, which then is recorded with the county clerk's office. The project, I don't know how many months, it's been many. It's been in construction. We have the developer here, so they could give you a much further detailed description of how long this project has been open. In terms of everybody to see, and also the notice that folks have had. Again,
sure.
It's been approved through the city processes.
Sure. I'm not questioning the due diligence of our staff, nor their ability to follow or their record or history of following the process. What I'm asking about is the response from the council office, Counselor. There was no response.
Right.
So what I'm asking is, do they support our staff and the work that we have done on this, or do they not? Is what I'm asking.
Got it. Dr. Davis, given that council district right now is not in a functioning position as all the other districts, I think you have a good argument there to figure out, to make sure that the folks at City 10 know what's happening. So Dr. Davis, do you have any other questions? And then I'll go to Calosa and then we'll consider your...
No, ma'am.
Got it. Thank you. Let me go with Commissioner Calosa and then we'll consider your request, Dr. Davis. Commissioner Calosa?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And if Mr. Knight, if you can maybe unmute the developer, it'd be great to hear from them directly about the project and the level of outreach that they've done on this project. That would be super helpful. And I do think this is an important part of our process to both of my colleagues' point that, we want to make sure that this council district, because it is in a, I don't know what to call it, but there's not currently, a voting member on city council, that we want to take extra care to make sure that the stakeholders have an opportunity to hear this item properly. I understand there's notices posted. And thank you, Mr. Banuelos, for going over that. Of course, we also know that we're still, last year there's lots of impacts to all communities because of the pandemic. Thankfully, it's getting better now, but just want to be mindful of the situation in which maybe we did some of these notices. And I know it's really tricky, but maybe if we can hear directly from the applicant about your outreach, that would be really helpful.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Cloza. I believe the developer is Mr. Garrison.
Yes.
Are you okay? Excellent.
Right. Originally, this project was a hotel development, and once it was prior to COVID, and once we did a further market study, and it could meet the price point to do a hotel there. So the owner decided to switch and provide a TLC project with some affordable housing, which would be better for the community. We reached out to the CD10 during the time that we were going through the review process for the hotel, and they supported the project in whole. There is a snafu and I think in the city's regulations in regards to TLC projects, because they're streamlined process. And so once we change directions, it did not require us to go back to the CD or to the council districts or the neighborhood council because it's submitted, and then forthcoming of a case review, it gets heard and reviewed by the determination is made by the director, and then subsequently moved on to the building department for plan check, provided that all zoning compliances are provided for. And so that's what occurred. And so we followed those rules, and specifically to how the city has been implementing them. And so we hadn't done any further, any further marketing approach or public comments period for that. And as we began construction, so we are way beyond to the beginning of this project. The foundations have been laid and the conduits are in. So this is where we are today.
That's thank you. And can you just for folks who are listening, I know you mentioned TLC project. Can you just spell out the acronym for everyone listening who's less familiar with moving development projects to the city?
Transit-oriented development.
Thank you. TOC, sorry. Okay. So just going back to the question that I asked about outreach, so you met with the council office is what I heard. Did you meet with any other stakeholders?
We met with the council's office, and we met with the neighborhood council for CD10, but we didn't realize there was a split in that neighborhood council. So we didn't meet with Pico Union, we met with the other neighborhood council, and at the time they gave us a thumbs up to the project itself.
Okay.
And then when we switched to the development to what we have now, we didn't meet with the other council. We didn't realize that that they were to be notified as well.
I see. And thank you for sharing that. I know it can be, as Mr. Benuelos pointed out, there's a lot of neighborhood councils. And so thank you for meeting with the council offices and one of the neighborhood council teams on that piece. And it sounds like you're open to that engagement, to presenting. So I would, to conclude my remarks, would be supportive of President Pro Tem Davis's continuance as well, just to make sure that the other neighborhood council has the opportunity to meet with the applicant, like the other neighborhood council had the opportunity to. So I'll go ahead and conclude there, knowing that this likely will get continued, and also think it would be, we have a quorum today, which is, our bare minimum to vote. So I think it would be helpful to have, more board members also see and hear from them on this item, knowing as well as Commissioner Villegas is our liaison for the Bureau of Street Services, and unfortunately she's not here with us today, but her feedback on this is always, of course, invaluable. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. I concur with what you just stated, and also I want to honor Dr. Davis's request to let Council District 10 at least be aware of what the situation is, if they're not already. So with that, TJ, I think we want to make sure we continue this for 1 week. I'm seeing Commissioner Calosa saying perhaps maybe 2 weeks at the top. And that would give time also for the developer. If you can please also meet with, I believe was the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council that was here with us today. And perhaps I personally don't know if that's with your project is within either Wilshire Center Korea Neighborhood Council or the Pico Union Neighborhood Council. Regardless, those are constituencies that will pass through there, work through there, take buses through there, so both should be probably well notified of what is happening. I understand that you're very underway of your project. It's almost practically at the end stages of it somewhat, but it's really important for us to make sure that the community really understands what's happening. And I do appreciate the time that you took to work with the Pico Union Neighborhood Council and the agreements that you made with them. And what I will say to the Pico Union Neighborhood Council is please contact us and we can connect you with the chief forester officer so that the trees that you're choosing and we can provide you, the trees are the right trees to be planted at the right place, and also so we can provide you any support that you would need as you plant those trees as well. And mostly it's just really making sure that we plant the right tree at the right place, and that's important to us. So part of some of these trees are, like Mr. Bañuelos said at the beginning of his presentation, were probably not planted in the right places. So there's just some clarifications that we need to make. And so if it's okay, Mr. TJ Knight, can we end with you, Dr. Davis, and Mr. Colosa, can we continue this item in 2 weeks? In addition to having the council office, it's very important to have Commissioner Villegas on this conversation, and she's not here today. She is our tree liaison, and she is very familiar with, she's much more versed in this topic. So I would feel more comfortable if Commissioner Villegas was here as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. This item is now, item number 1 is now continued.
I'm sorry, can I just make a clarification?
Hang on, Elizabeth, I'm sorry. TJ Knight, do you want to
Yes.
call? Okay.
Yes, let's take a roll vote. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Madam Vice President, how do you vote for the continuance of this item, item number 1, to March 25th?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. To March 25th, 2022.
March 25th, 2022. Okay, good. That's a good thing. Aye.
And President Pro Tem Davis? How do you vote?
Davis, aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Colosa, how do you vote for the continuance?
Aye.
Thank you. It's unanimous. And the motion to continue item number 1 to March 25th, 2022 has passed.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth, is this something really kind of quick or?
Very quick. So, the tree removal notifications specifically state that any communication against or for the removal should be sent directly to Hector. And so those should be made public. It does not actually specify that we should be putting anything through the city system or sending it to anywhere else. So as that is the noted communication for the noted route of communication that the public and the neighborhood councils have been given for their support or disagreement with the tree removals, those all should be made public. And if there's another way that you guys want this communication submitted, that should be in those tree notifications as well.
Okay, noted. Elizabeth, are you representing a certain neighborhood council?
Yes, I'm sorry, the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council. Sorry,
Okay.
I wanted to make it quicker.
Okay, I would suggest that you follow your procedures that you usually do, and we'll make sure that, and also if you want to, you can also contact your council office as well.
Yeah, we did not have a representative from Sun or the council office. I don't think POPICO had one either for CD10 until just last week.
Okay,
and as a point of information, I'd like to add that the value of this Board of Public Works is the same as it is for the public in terms of what our process and procedures are. And I did note that there was a change in direction, and that change of direction changed the project in terms of its perception. And so our value on the board is to make sure, Elizabeth, as you have stated, that we do have public notification and awareness about specifically what we're going to do on a project. And so I just wanted to make that clear. The system includes many different things, administrative things that our staff does, but it also is a process by which not only does the council office have the review of what is going on about a particular project, but then when it finally gets to the board and we evaluate it, as you've seen today, we have to make some decisions about making sure that the value that we embrace is adhered to, and that's what has occurred here today.
Thank you. And sorry, my second quick clarification was that the 2020 Planning Commission meeting did not discuss trees, and that the specific removal of trees was not part of that.
Okay, Elizabeth, you have 2 weeks to make your case. So
thank you.
And I would definitely encourage the developer, Mr. Garrison, and Elizabeth, with your neighborhood council, to come together and present one another your concerns. And Mr. Garrison, I would recommend that you educate or represent why these 4 trees are necessary to be necessary to be removed. So with that, I'm going to move us forward from this item. Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you to the developers, and thank you to everyone else that called on item number 1. We have 2 weeks to kind of work it out. If that's the best way I can say it right now.
I'm sorry, if I could just note, the neighborhood councils only meet once a month, so unfortunately the neighborhood council would not be able to hear this item until May. But
you might want to work with your, I'm not sure if your rep with Dunn, maybe there's something you can do on that angle. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 2. This is an item in all council districts. This is a personal service contract, budget increase, and amendment number 1 to 5 key schools and programs, mobile pit stop bathroom, and mobile showers program. Recommending the board, subject to approval by the mayor, to 1, approve amendment number 1 between the City of Los Angeles and the 5 key schools and programs to include mobile hygiene unit services for the comprehensive cleaning and rapid engagement program, and to increase the total contract ceiling from $6,002,010 to $10,702,010, and 2, authorize the president or 2 commissioners to execute the contract amendment and return the executed contract amendment to the Bureau of Sanitation for further processing. And who do we have here? I see Mr. Domingo. I take it it's Domingo and Janelle.
Good morning, Vice President. How are you?
Good morning to both of you. Thank you for being here, and we're ready to hear your presentation.
Great. Good morning, Madam Vice President, Commissioners, Board staff. Domingo Roscoe, Assistant Division Manager with LA Sanitation and Environment's Livability Services Division. I'm joined this morning by my Co-Assistant Division Manager, Janelle Gardea, and we're here to request authority, as you mentioned, Madam Vice President, on executing this existing board contract with the First Amendment. This is to continue our critical sanitary service of mobile hygiene units, which provides showers and restroom services, as well as ambassador services for our unhoused guests across the city. As you mentioned, for those first 2 recommendations, approve the amendment and increase the ceiling by $4.7 million this fiscal year to continue this service, and then also to execute the attached contract so that we can continue this. As you know, in July of 2021, this board executed the contract with 5 keys to implement the mobile pit stop bathroom and mobile showers program. This contract has a duration of 12 months with 2 one-year renewal options. The ceiling was established at $6 million, and this is an amendment to that. So further, we're going to work with the board staff, TJ and Mike and others, to streamline the amendment process. As we continuously amend this contract and its existence, we will find ways to present the amendments at the same time concurrently, so that we further reduce any administrative load on both sides between the board and the Bureau, but then also find an efficient way of doing this for the board and the commission as well. So with that, I will turn it over to our Assistant Division Manager, Janelle Gardea, who oversees the mobile hygiene unit package for background. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Janelle Gardea, Assistant Division Manager for the Livability Services Division, and I oversee the Mobile Hygiene Program. Since the launch in October of 2019, the Mobile Hygiene Unit Program under LA San has provided over 32,000 showers to the unsheltered Angelenos. Since the inception, LA San has built the MHU program into the foundation of a services-led approach, providing critical sanitary services to those in need. The continued deployment of these hygiene services is a critical component of providing a service-led sanitation approach to the MHU program. The additional services necessary for the delivery of these services are comparable in nature to the services already being provided by 5 Keys in the mobile pit stop and mobile shower program. Under the Care Plus program, LA San will direct the inclusion of mobile hygiene services to include, but not limited to, shower and restroom service as currently provided in the contract with 5 Keys. Currently, in collaboration with the Solid Resources Citywide Recycling Division, we have had 2 successful donation drives so far that consist of blankets and socks. And currently, we are having a clothing drive. And next month, we're going to be having a donation drive of toiletries. All of these items are for the unhoused Angelenos and will be a part of the mobile hygiene program. And all of these donations are citywide and open to the public. So I have to say that the partnership with Urban Alchemy and LA San staff with a services-led approach has been a successful solution by meeting the needs for the unhoused Angelenos. I am very proud of the work that these teams do together. It's a 5-day-a-week operation, and they make every guest feel important and heard. This partnership makes this program a success. So thank you, Commissioners, for your attention to this matter. We are here to answer any questions that you may have.
Great. Thank you, Janelle, and thank you, Domingo. Hold on for any questions. Any questions, colleagues? We can start with Dr. Davis.
Yes. Well, first I want to thank Janelle and the entire staff at the Bureau of Sanitation for the implementation of this mobile hygiene service program. I've talked about it before, and I want to re-emphasize how critically important it is today when we look at the circumstance we find ourselves in the city of Los Angeles in with the homeless population and the culture that we have in our city as it relates to unsheltered. The mobile hygiene service program is exemplary in terms of a very critically important service that needs to be provided in the communities that we have in the unsheltered. I am very pleased to know that we have expanded the service delivery of what we provide for the unsheltered, not only in terms of the mobile hygiene service, but of her recent revelation about extending opportunities for those Los Angelenos to contribute by bringing blankets, by making sure that they bring toiletries. This is a natural expansion to the service delivery to citizens in Los Angeles who need our help most. And finally, I think that when we think about the healthcare crisis that we're in, this is the kind of program that we want to strongly support. So thank you for allowing me to give my comments on it. And again, I thank Janelle and the staff over at the Bureau of Sanitation for executing this program.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Commissioner Calosa?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Orozco and Ms. Gardia. I echo my colleagues' sentiments. This is a really important program to the city. I'm glad to see that it's expanding. 13 is still not enough, though, as we know, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping to see a more robust expansion of this in the future. It's never enough, unfortunately, but we know that this is just one of the many tools that LA San has to provide services to our people experiencing homelessness. I know that a majority of these are within the Bridge Home service zones, but for folks listening in, is there a place where they can find locations where they can find some of these mobile units so that we're able to direct people who may need these types of services? What would be the best way for us to share that information?
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa, and I know we've talked about this in the past. As we're developing our administrative support unit within Livability Services, directly communicating to the public the services that we offer, whether it's on street engagement and hygiene services like the Mobile Hygiene Unit program, and projecting out that schedule. How can they best know where we're going to be as far as deployment, which I'll turn to Janelle on to discuss. That's something we're always going to look to develop. How can we project outward our schedule and our deployment model? And so we'll be looking at putting that out on a web-based system using kind of like a mapping system on how we can do that for further development. And then Janelle, if you could discuss some of the deployment changes that we've made over the past year.
Okay, thank you, Domingo. So, like Domingo said, we are going to try to get the locations of all of our showers up on a website that we're currently trying to develop. But originally, the mobile hygiene showers were attached to Care Plus operation in a bridge home at a Care Plus operation. What I found that the unhoused were reluctant to take a shower when they're worried about their personal property. So I decided to change it, and it's been going about 9 months where we run either a day or two before a Care Plus operation, and then they're willing to take a shower. And at the same time, we're notifying them if a Care Plus operation is going to take place, and we provide them with bags. And the numbers of showers has went up since we are not attached directly to a Care Plus operation, and that's been a success. So we're going to expand, and like Domingo said, we're going to find a way that people can find these showers.
Okay, yeah, that's really helpful, and it doesn't even have to be something as sophisticated as a website. Like, I'm almost thinking of like, food trucks, right, that move all around the city, and they just literally post it on Twitter, like, we're going to be at this location during this time, for people to be able to follow and see what services are in and around the area. It's just that communication piece that I really want to emphasize. I'm really hoping LA Sand can build out. Again, it doesn't have to be costly. A lot of these things that we can do to communicate to the public are free and easy to stand up. But time is of the essence to make sure that people know where these locations are at, especially because it varies so much. And I know that the deployment changes all the time, right? I know you get pulled in a million directions. And even with just even a few additional showers, I know you're going to be constantly trying to manage your schedule. And so as you manage your schedule, I hope that even if it's just a day or two notice, that I want to emphasize that piece, because we see folks who can use these services all the time and want to be able to direct them somewhere. So just wanted to say that. And I know in one of the prior board reports, it lists, of course, the locations for some of these. Have any of those changed, or that's what you're trying to finalize right now? I noticed this. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And as Janelle outlined, the operational experience of the program, learning where we get a lot of service and where we get a little bit of service, how we can then tailor our services and deployment based on that information. As we've run the program now for several years, really starting in October of 2019, that's given us a lot of information to start really kind of changing and tailoring the program to get the most impact. And like you said, Commissioner Colosa, one thing where we do need to take advantage of that we haven't is, engaging directly through social media on posting those schedules, especially since some locations are going to be routine and regular, and others are going to be really more on the fly and a little bit different. So where we can do, capture that low-hanging fruit, if you will, and get that message out there quickly and efficiently with the resources we already have, whether that's social media engagement, Instagram posts, Twitter posts, things like that, where we can just really put the message out. It can be transmitted to the public, and people can consume that information quickly and make the best use of the services.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing a new Twitter handle after we get off today's board meeting. It's just because I know service providers are looking for this information. So any way that we can help them, and like I said, we're spending millions of dollars on this contract, so I want to make sure that we maximize our outreach and our impact. But that's really it for me. I know this is really tough work, and I thank our contractors for helping provide these really critical services to people experiencing homelessness. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Colosa. Appreciate your line of questioning, and also Dr. Davis's comments. Following up on something that Commissioner Colosa was discussing, Domingo, Janelle, are these some of our mobile pit shops information on 311? So like maybe somebody can call 311 and ask where they can get this type of service. Not sure if that's even possible or if it's on it already.
It's something where we have, through LA Sanitation and Environment, we have our 24/7 customer care center that's available, and we can make that information available to the customer service reps so they can relay that as we start to do that. And like I said, Janelle's done a lot of hard work on the deployment and making sure it aligns to provide the best service possible. So getting that information out quickly and efficiently is something we'll definitely take advantage of.
Okay. I would want you guys to explore the possibility of putting these on our 311, just because that'll be something easy that our population can just remember to call and they can find out where these sites will be. Just all right. Thank you so much. All right, colleagues. Any other questions? If I don't see any question, is there a motion on this item?
Let me have just one question, please.
Sure,
in terms of the data, how are we doing in terms of, for example, in South LA? Are we still witnessing participation of the service in that area?
All of our locations, we have a pretty good guest count. So I have data based on by council district, by date, by month, however you want to put it. I could tell you the number of showers in each council district. But we choose locations that are going to give us a better rate of return. At least 10 showers, 15 showers. Some of our showers are 50 showers a day. So we decided to add 2 days or 3 day service to those locations.
Could you, when you get an opportunity, give me some information in terms of where we are with the South Los Angeles council districts? In other words, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th districts in terms of the homeless populations they are participating. And then I can talk with you offline about what those numbers are and any strategies that might need to be implemented by yourself with consultation with the council offices in that regard.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank you so much.
One thing I do want to piggyback onto that question, Commissioner Davis, because I think this is a very important issue while we look at, addressing deployment based on need. And we know that South LA is always going to be, in respects, ground zero for the homeless population that we're servicing. Whether we're looking in CD8, CD9's border, the Grand Flower corridor, we're looking at a lot of different impacts there and need, ultimately need.
Right.
One of those needs that we don't really talk about, that is something that we've been looking at as we've worked through a few years of this program, is the actual infrastructure need that we have on our side to provide this service to those who need the service.
That's correct.
So, the units that Janelle and her teams deploy and that the contractual staff utilize and provide that ambassador service through, they connect through city service, through water provided by DWP and connections there. We also connect to sanitation as a sanitation agency, to sanitation sewer network for disposal and waste needs through that network. So we're always looking for connection access points where we can deploy safely when we're looking at vehicular traffic, but also where we have built out city infrastructure. And so South LA is an area that we're always going to keep our eye on.
Great.
Because we want to have that kind of connection.
Great. And I want to make sure that we realize, all of us, that it takes a village to implement the program. You're doing the work, you're on the front line, but it takes a village. All of us have to be involved. And to that degree, my goal is to make sure that if you're providing the service, that we are able to implement the service to our fullest capacity for which we have resources. Wouldn't it be a shame, what tragedy it is, that if we have the resources and they're not being effectively utilized, and we know the need is so great. So thank you for your feedback, and I look forward to hearing back from Janelle and doing what we can do in terms of communicating with all of the council offices and doing our part.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. All right, colleagues, is there a motion to move this item forward? Dr. Davis?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second it. TJ, we have a motion on the table by Dr. Davis and second by myself.
Yes. Shall we take a roll call vote?
Yes, please.
Okay. Madam Vice President, how do you vote?
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Coloza, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries with all ayes. Would you like this approved forthwith?
Yes,
Madam
please.
All right, excellent. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Domingo and Janelle, for your time, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right, colleagues, this leads us to item number 3. Item number 3 is in Council District 11. This is a personal service contract, pre-qualified contractors list for a capital improvement project, J598 Low Flow Treatment Facility 1, Bayona Creek Water Quality Improvements, and CIP J925 Low Flow Treatment Facility 2, Sepulveda Channel Low Flow Treatment Facility. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the establishment of a pre-qualified list for the CIP J598 Low Flow Treatment Facility 1, Bayona Creek Water Quality Improvements Project, and the CIP J925 Low Flow Treatment Facility 2, Sepulveda Channel Low Flow Treatment Facility Project. Ethan, of course.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Madam Vice President. If I may. We do, yes, we have a speaker on item 3. Dr. Williams, if you are on the call, would you please press *6 on mute, and you'll have 2 minutes to offer your comment.
Thanks, CJ.
Yeah. Dr. Williams?
Hello, yes, Dr. Tom Williams, Citizens Coalition for a Safe Community, based out of Culver City, but also the entire watershed, Bayona Creek and Sepulveda, are critical to a new project that's already being proposed for the flood control of the Bayona Creek. And the critical issue is maintaining fresh water in the flow into Bayona Creek during the drought and the normal summer low flow periods. So we're quite concerned about any mention of diversion of fresh water to the West Basin via the Hyperion Water Project. So we'll be looking at this very closely. Thank you for notifying us at an early stage as to it being going on. And we would highly recommend that you start a web page for this project and Bayona Creek Sepulveda Channel. So that's basically it. The list of pre-qualified contractors, fine, thank you. But get a community available web page going for this project, because it is sensitive and there are a lot of things going on the creek. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. Any other caller, TJ?
No, that concludes public commenters on item number 3. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Ethan and Mr. Perry, I take it you guys are here for this item?
Correct. Good morning, everyone. This is Ethan Wong with the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Engineering Division. So the item before you is for the establishment of a pre-qualified list for these 2 very important low-flow treatment facilities at Bayona Creek and Sepulveda Channel. These 2 projects will use diversion to basically pump water from the channels during low flow, treat the water through an ozone disinfection system, and then release the water back into the subject channels. On September 10th, the board authorized the issuance a request for qualifications to prospective contractors to get pre-qualified to bid on these projects. From that time, we received 6 statement of qualifications from prospective contractors. Various groups in the Bureau of Engineering and LA SAN reviewed those statement of qualifications and scored the qualifications. Per the board's authorization on September 10th, the top 4 contractors were to be pre-qualified. The top 4 scoring contractors are GF Shea Construction Incorporated, Hewitt Infrastructure West Company, PCL Construction Inc., and Walsh Construction Company, LLC. These four met the minimum guidelines for pre-qualification and were the top four scoring of the 6 contractors that submitted qualifications. The other 2 contractors that submitted were Shimmick Construction Company, Inc. and OHLA USA Incorporated. We request the approval of this pre-qualified list at this time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding this board report. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Wong, for that report. Colleagues, any questions on this item? We can start with Commissioner Calosa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks for your presentation, Mr. Wong, and thanks for being here as well, Mr. Perry. Did you have anything to add to the presentation?
Hello, this is Brett Perry from LA Sanitation and Environment. I did appreciate the public comment that we received, and I did want to notify the public that there is information on this project posted on LA Sanitation's website. If you Google LA Sanitation Biona Creek, you'll be able to see some of the documentation for this project. I would also note that those downstream uses of water and supporting the health of the watershed are incredibly high priorities for the Bureau and the city, and that's actually what this project is aimed at doing. There was a full water balance analysis completed for the watershed, and these facilities are actually going to treat and return over 7.3 million gallons per day to the downstream creek and these channels to support the beneficial uses seen in Biona Creek, Biona Estuary, and even the wetlands. So that is our goal, to support the water bodies of this critical watershed that's been so built out. And there has been a completed EIR and CEQA process, and we also have received permits from LA County Flood Control District, the Federal U.S. Army Corps, the Los Angeles Regional Water Quality Control Board, and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, who have all analyzed that water balance, the proposed work for these projects, and that's just some of the history on the project, because these are very important issues to discuss. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Perry. I appreciate the detailed presentation from both you and Mr. Wong, and just the continued partnership between LA San and BOE on this project. And thank you for answering the question from Dr. Williams. Always super important. How does the public find out more information on this project? So just go to the LA San website. And if you have any issues finding the webpage for whatever reason, Dr. Williams, you know how to get a hold of us, and we're happy to assist you. But I don't have any other questions on this item. It's a super important project for the Biona Creek and all the important work that we do here. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. Dr. Davis, any questions? You're on mute, sir.
Thank you. No questions for me on this item.
Got it. All right, Mr. Ethan and Mr. Brett. Seems like nobody has any other questions. I actually do have just a maybe clarifying question. I know you stated 4 contractors that made it into this pre-qualified list. Will there be an opportunity for others to join if at a later time, or it's kind of we're closed? You disappeared, Ethan.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
No, this will be the only opportunity to pre-qualify contractors, as we these projects are very critical and time sensitive. We will be advertising immediately to the pre-qualified list if it is approved today.
Okay, understood. Okay, I don't have any other additional questions on this item. Is there a motion to move this item forward?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. TJ, we have a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Calosa. Should we take a roll call?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Madam President, how do you vote?
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Calosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 3 carries all ayes. Shall we move this forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Wong and Mr. Perry, go fix our Biona Creek water project and our Sepulveda Channel project as well.
Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you both. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, this moves us now along to item number 4. This is a contract in, this is an item in Council District 2 and 6. It's the contract award for, I'm gonna spell it out because GRBCON, it's GRBCON Inc. Secondary Sewer Renewal Program, DCON 03, E28, and E30. Recommending the board to 1, declare GRBCON Inc. first lower bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award GRBCON a contract for this project for $772,162, and 2, authorize the president or 2 members of the board to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. And we have Mr. Arrington here presenting on today's item. Mr. Arrington?
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Edward. Good morning again. My name is Edward Arrington. I'm with the Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. Yes, the item before you, as you've indicated, is our one of our SSRP projects, DCON 03. It is intended to renew approximately about 6,300 feet of footage of sewage that is right now rated condition D, which is essentially in poor condition. The project right now has been evaluated for environmental considerations and has been determined to be categorically exempt. In regards to the project cost, the city engineer's estimate, as indicated in the report, is $681,085. The lowest bid that was received was by, as you indicated, Commissioner, GRBCON Inc. For a bid amount of $772,162, which is approximately about 13.4% above the city engineer's estimate. However, based on the range of bids that were received for this project, staff believes that this bid is reasonable, and therefore we recommend it will be awarded to this low bid, subject to the verifications of other bidding requirements. In addition, this first low bidder, GRBCON, passed their business inclusion program evaluation, which was conducted utilizing our LA BAVN services network that we have set up. In regards to contracting participation, our mandatory subcontractor minimum requirements for this project is 25%. The contractor, GRBCON, has pledged a participation above that of 31.12%. Further, GRB was requested to extend their bid bond beyond the expiration date of March 1st, and they have in fact done that. So the new expiration date for them will be April 1st of 2022. In regards to funding, there is no impact to the general fund. The total funding for this project is not to exceed $926,594.40, and no funds are required in this fiscal year, and funding will be budgeted within the Sewer Construction and Maintenance Fund. So in view of these items that just indicated, staff does recommend that the board declare GRBCON first low bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder and award GRBCON the contract for this project. With that, I'll try to answer any questions you may have.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Arrington. Colleagues, any questions on this item?
None for me.
Got it. And Commissioner Calosa?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for your detailed presentation, as always, Mr. Arrington. I don't have any additional questions on this item. It's just it's nice to see GRBCON 2. They're an LBE, an SBE, and an EBE, so which is great to see them being able to take on other projects. So thank you for your report.
Got it. Thank you for that noted information, Commissioner Calosa. I don't have any questions either, Mr. Arrington. I think this is pretty self-explained, and you did a good job explaining as well. Colleagues, is there a motion to move this item forward?
So moved.
Got it.
Second.
Thank you. TJ, we have a first by Dr. Davis and second by Commissioner Calosa. Should we take roll call?
Yes, Madam Vice President, how do you vote?
Aye.
President Pro Tem President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote? Sorry.
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Calosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
The motion carries all ayes. Item 4 is adopted forthwith.
Great. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Arrington, for your time. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right. This now moves us now to item number 5. This is in all council districts. It's a subcontractor substitution. Axiom Group recommending the board to concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of Axiom Group for the subcontractor substitution of Martinez Landscape Company, Inc. with Tree Smith Enterprises, Inc. for the tree trimming and landscaping work for the sidewalk repair program package number 56. And TJ, I understand we have a speaker on this item?
Yes, that is correct, Madam Vice President. Ms. D'Antonio, if you would please unmute, and you'll have 2 minutes to offer your commentary on item number 5.
Hi, this is Joanne D'Antonio from CFAC, speaking as an individual. And I just wanted to point out that many of us put pressure on urban forestry a number of years ago to not utilize subcontractors. And we did this because so many trees were malpruned, and they were even to the point of death. And not all tree trimmers were like this, but the important thing is that they were operating without guidance. And yes, they may be ISA certified, as this company is, but the reality is that most tree trimmers will do whatever they're asked to do. And I have intervened with tree trimmers, subcontractors in the old days when we had them, and I have gotten them to do a good job. But there are many people that just think that trees have to be cut way back. And my fear with sidewalk repair is that there may be folks involved with the construction that say, you know, get a lot of this tree out of my way. So this is not about tree removals, but this is about trimming properly. And I would like UFD to give them guidance, because we have worked with UFD to understand that, you know, canopy is important. And if we over trim our trees, we don't have canopy. Some of these sidewalk repair projects are right where new trees have been planted, and there's branches near the ground that need to be trimmed up a little. But we just want to make sure it's not overdone and that the trees are not compromised. There's a lot of sites here. There's like something like 19 sites, and some of them are just removal. But anyway, that's my point. UFD should oversee.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Antonio, for your comments. Okay, who do we? Oh, Mr. Bagby. Great, we have you for 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you for putting that. That's actually pretty good. All right, Mr. Bagby, we'll hear your presentation.
All right, would you like for me to do them all together?
No, we're going to take it one as one, because that way we can just have it on the record that way. So we'll do one by one.
Okay, very good. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roosevelt Bagby. I'm with the Bureau of Contract Administration. This is a subcontractor substitution for the Sidewalk Repair Program, package number 56. On September 27, 2021, we received a request from the Axiom Group to substitute Martinez Landscape Company, the bid-listed WBE SBE subcontractor, with Tree Smith Enterprises and Torres Construction Company. Now, Tree Smith is an SBE, MBE, WBE, UBB, UDBE, and a BBE, and Torres is an OBE subcontractor. This approval acknowledges the active status of both companies' contractor's license and BTRCs. With this request, we received a letter from Martinez Landscape Company withdrawing from this portion of work. The Bureau has verified that Axiom complied with the good faith effort to find another qualified subcontractor. Now, Martinez was bid listed for $159,300. Tree Smith their bid amount is $51,100. Torres Construction Company was at $108,200. So the work will be completed by Tree Smith and Torres at no additional cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendation of President Pro Tem Davis to approve this substitution.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bagby. Any questions, colleagues? Dr. Davis?
No, I will move after discussion.
Got it. Commissioner Calosa, questions?
No questions for me. Thank you, Mr. Bagby, for your presentation, and appreciate your comment as always, Ms. D'Antonio.
I don't have any questions either. So Dr. Davis put a motion to move this item forward. I'll second it. TJ, there's an item on the table, a motion on the table with Dr. Davis and second by myself. Should we take roll call?
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice President. For item number 5, how do you vote, Madam Vice President?
Aye.
Thank you. And President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Calosa, how do you vote on item 5?
Aye.
Excellent. Motion carries all ayes. Shall we move this forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Mr. Bagby, going now to item number 6. This is a council item in the Council District 4, subcontractor substitution, Mike Perlich and Sons, Inc., recommending the board to concur with the action of Commissioner Davis, approving the request of Mike Perlich and Sons, Inc. for the subcontractor substitution of Samborelli Enterprises with Barney's Hole Digging Service, Inc. for drilling work on the Pacific View Trail 2849 retaining wall replacement project. Mr. Bagby?
Okay, this too is a subcontractor substitution for the Pacific Trail retaining wall project. On August 20th, 2021, the Bureau received a request from Mike Perlich and Sons Incorporated to substitute Zambarelli Enterprises, the bid listed OBE, with Barney's Hole Digging Service, who is also an OBE subcontractor. Now, this approval acknowledges the active status of Barney's subcontractors or contractors license and BTRC. Included with this request, Zambarelli provided us with a letter withdrawing from this portion of work. The Bureau has verified that Mike Perlich and Sons has complied with the good faith effort to find another qualified subcontractor. Zambarelli was bid listed at $9,500. Barney's bid amount was $9,500. So Barney will complete the work at no additional cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendation of President Pro Tem Davis to approve this substitution.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bagby. Questions, colleagues? Not hearing any. Okay, is there a motion on the item to move this? Is there a motion to move this item forward? Get it right. All right, Dr. Davis, moving it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Calosa. TJ, we have a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Calosa to move this item forward.
Yes, Madam Vice President, and we'll take a roll call vote on this. Madam Vice President, how do you vote on item 6? Thank you. President Pro Tem. President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote on item 6?
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Calosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 6 carries all ayes, and shall we move this forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right. See how excited I am about doing this, Mr. Bagby? All right. We're moving on to item number 7. This is in Council District 11, subcontractor substitution for HZS Engineering, Inc., DBA HZS Construction, recommending the board to concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of HZS Engineering, Inc., DBA HZS Construction for the subcontractor substitution of JMH Engineering and Construction, DBA JMH Engineering Construction with All American Asphalt for a fine grading and concrete flat work for the Sanborn Avenue reconstruction near Washington Boulevard Street improvement. Mr. Bagby.
All right, this subcontractor substitution is for the Sanborn and Washington Boulevard reconstruction street improvement project. On September 21st, 2021, the Bureau received a request from HZS Construction to substitute JMH Construction, the bid listed subcontractor, the SBE and EBE, with All American Asphalt, which is an OBE subcontractor. This approval acknowledges the active status of All American Asphalt's contractor's license and BTRC. A certified letter was sent to JMH informing them of HZS's intention to substitute them. They had 5 days to respond to the certified letter of their objection in writing. However, JMH did not respond to the certified letter. The Bureau has verified HZC's construction has complied with the good faith effort to find another qualified subcontractor. JMH bid listed for the $3,200, and All Americans bid amount was $54,714. So there was a difference of $11,514. So HCS primary contractor participation in this project will be lessened by that amount, and then All American Asphalt will complete this work at no additional cost to the city. So the Bureau concurs with the recommendation of President Pro Tem Davis to approve this substitution.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bagby. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none, is there a motion to move this item forward?
So moved.
Thank you. Dr. Davis, I'll second it. TJ, we have a motion on the table by Dr. Davis and second by myself.
Yes, and we'll do a roll call vote. Madam Vice President, how do you vote on item 8?
Aye.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
I think this is item 7, TJ.
Oh, I apologize. Yes, let me redo that. Sorry. So we have a motion on the table by President Pro Tem Davis and seconded by Madam Vice President Garcia. And item 7, how do you vote, Madam Vice President?
Aye.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Davis, aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Colosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 7 carries all ayes, and this will be approved forthwith.
Yes, please.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bagby, is 7 and 8 the same?
No, they're different contractors.
You're right. Okay, got it. All right. Look the same except for 2 words in there. All right, this is item number 8. This is a Council District 11 subcontractor substitution, HZS Engineering Inc., DBA HCS Construction. Recommending the board to concur with the action of Commissioner Davis approving the request of HCS Engineering Inc., DBA HCS Construction for the subcontractor substitution of Pave West Incorporated with All American Asphalt and HCS Engineering Inc., DBA HCS Construction for asphalt concrete pavement work for the Sanborn Avenue reconstruction near Washington Boulevard Street Improvement Project. Mr. Bagby?
All right, this subcontractor substitution, same project at Sanborn and Washington Boulevard, are a reconstruction of the street and improving the flow of the water through there. On September 23rd, 2021, HZS Construction provided us with a request to substitute Pave West Incorporated, that would be their bid listed OBE, with All American Asphalt, which is also an OBE subcontractor. And now this approval acknowledges the active status of All American Asphalt's contractor's license and BTRC. A certified letter was sent to Pave West informing them of HZS's intention to substitute them. They had 5 days to respond to the certified letter indicating their objection to the substitution. However, Pave West did not respond. The Bureau has verified that HCS has complied with a good faith effort to find a qualified subcontractor. Now, Pave West bid listed amount was $82,226. All Americans Asphalt bid amount was $48,848.60. There's a difference of $33,514 $377.40. So HCS will complete this work at no additional cost to the city. The Bureau concurs with the recommendation of President Pro Tem Davis to approve the substitution.
Great. Great. Thank you, Mr. Bagby. Any questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Is there a motion for this item to move forward?
A move.
I'll second it again as well. There's a motion on the table by Dr. Davis and second by myself. TJ?
Yes, thank you, Madam Vice President. We'll take a roll call vote. Madam Vice President, how do you vote on item 8?
Aye.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Coloza, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you so much. All ayes on item 8. Item carries and it will be moved forthwith.
Great. Perfect.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bagby, I think that's it for you, unless you're here for 11, but I don't think so.
No, thank you. Everybody have a great weekend.
You too. Have a good weekend and nice seeing you. All right, moving us along to administrative items. We're going to take number 9. Item number 9, this is in Council District 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of the Bureau of Engineering to execute the proposed task order solicitation number 56 with IBI Group, a California partnership for architectural and planning services. There's no presenter on this item, right, TJ?
Yes, that's correct. This is an administrative item.
Got it. So is there a second to my motion to move this item forward?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ, should we take a roll call?
Yes, and so this is item 9 on the table, roll call vote. And Madam Vice President, how do you vote?
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Coloza, how do you vote?
Aye. I think the birds in your house also vote aye.
they probably sound like they're in my house. They're in my backyard. So sorry about that. Motion carries with all ayes on item number 9, and we'll move that forthwith.
Thank you. I think they're part of the meeting. They're probably like right outside your window or something. All right. Thank you, TJ. Colleagues, item number 10 has been withdrawn by the request of Bureau of Sanitation, so we will not be hearing it today. All right.
Let me just insert a comment here on item number 10. Thank you so much, Madam Vice President. So we did have a speaker card. So I just want to clarify for that speaker, Jesus, so the item has been withdrawn. So if you would like to offer your commentary at this time, please go ahead and unmute. If not, it will be withdrawn.
Sorry to interrupt. If the item has been withdrawn, then
no comment.
I don't think it's appropriate to take comment.
I agree. Sorry, Mr. Gonzalez, if I appreciate your time being here, but yes, it has been withdrawn, so there really isn't much we can discuss at this time.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Thank you, TJ. So we're gonna close. I'm gonna move on to oral reports. We're gonna close this one, and then we'll open the special. I know that we have a special, colleagues. All right. This is an oral report. Item number 11: the status update on major upcoming street improvement projects from the Bureau of Street Services. And who's here to give us that report?
We have Mr. Maxwell, but before you start on your report for the upcoming street closures, upcoming street improvement projects, we do have a speaker card for number 11.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yes. Shall we hear our speaker?
Yes, please.
Dr. Tom Williams, if you are on the line, please unmute, and you have 2 minutes to offer your commentary on item number 11.
For item number 11, I would like to hear the report, but my general comment is street improvements needs a web page where everybody can check either their council district or the neighborhood council area as to what's coming up. And you might say perhaps even an interactive page as to what are the comments or problems that might occur. So it would be nice to have a web page that's publicly accessible and with, might say, the ability to interact with the public regarding upcoming street improvements. So that's basically it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Williams. And our speaker.
Yes, let me promote him. I'm sorry. Sorry for the delay. I am just now promoting him. Mr. Maxwell, are you in as panelist?
I see him. Mr. Maxwell, if you want to just take off your video, I see you now on our screen. There you are.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. We're ready for you.
Okay. So good morning, commissioners, bureau reps, and Mr. TJ Knight. This information is being provided to keep the public informed on the upcoming resurfacing projects and to minimize the impact on the community as well as delays to the commuters. Streets LA would like to provide you with an update on all major upcoming street improvement projects. There are no major street projects scheduled in the Metro or Valley resurfacing regions during the week of March 13th through March 19th. However, I am providing an update on our 21-22 pavement preservation program. During the week of March 13th through March 19th, the Metro and Valley region will complete 16 projects for a total of 14.51 lane miles. The press releases were broadcasted and notifications have been issued. Streets LA has coordinated with the council district offices to assist with the outreach to stakeholders, and we have coordinated with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation for traffic control assistance. The information is also available on the Streets LA website at streetsla.lacity.org. For additional information or concerns, you can contact our coordinating department at area code 213-847-3200. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Appreciate your report. Any questions for Mr. Maxwell? Dr. Davis or Commissioner Calosa, please.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I don't have any questions for you, Mr. Maxwell. Thank you for your detailed report and just want to commend Streets LA for your commitment to giving these reports every single Friday live. And to Dr. Williams, hopefully, I know we've shared it with you plenty of times as well, but Mr. Maxwell did provide a phone number in case you have further questions to somebody on the Streets LA staff. We want to make sure you understand work that's happening in your neighborhood. So that's also included as an attachment. And then, of course, on the streetsla.lacity.org website that Mr. Maxwell shared too, where you can find this information online. But I know Streets LA has made so many efforts to make sure that the public has access to this as easy as possible. So thank you, Mr. Maxwell, and just wanted to add an extra emphasis on that point as well, since it was raised by Dr. Williams. Thank you.
Great.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you, Commissioner Close. That was well said also. And Mr. Maxwell, I did Commissioner Close's comments on the commitment that Street Services has made on coming every Friday and notifying us of the work that you'll be doing. So appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell, and have a great weekend out there and enjoy your time. It's always good to see you, by the way, and your cool pictures that you have.
Thank you, and you have a great weekend too. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, colleagues, this is the last item for our regular meeting for the Board of Public Works, and with that, we are adjourned for this meeting, right, TJ?
Yes, correct. And as you noted earlier, we do have a special meeting. So meeting is adjourned. That concludes our regular meeting at 11:59, and we can move on to the yellows at your convenience.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, to the special meeting at your convenience. Sorry.
There you TJ. We're gonna get it together here. All right, colleagues, hang on. We've just adjourned and closed our first meeting, but we do have a special with one item on it. So TJ, when you're ready.
Yes, we will reestablish quorum at this time. So we have Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Calosa present. We do have a quorum. We are also joined by City Attorney Ted Jordan. and Bureau reps.
Got it. Thank you. Good morning and welcome to the special meeting for today, Friday, March 11, 2022. The TJ Knight already established quorum. Do we have any speakers on this item?
We have no speaker cards, no public commentary on our special.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a special on agenda for today. This is item number 12 in Council District 11. This is an AFE for South Coast Air Quality Management District. The Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $250,000 to encumber funds and pay permit and license fees for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. This is an AE 2276025 Fund 760, Sewer Operations and Maintenance Fund Department number 50, Appropriation Unit 50VX82. And today we have Ms. Simons from the Bureau of Sanitation presenting on this item. Okay, Ms. Simons. You're on mute though.
Is that better?
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you for this special session. Good afternoon. I'm Sherry Simons. I'm an environmental engineer in the Process Engineering Group at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. Hyperion is requesting approval for an authority for expenditure for $250,000 to pay South Coast Air Quality Management District to pay them for associated permit, plan, and emissions fees.
That's all?
That is it.
Colleagues, any questions on this item? We'll start with Commissioner Calosa.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks for your presentation, Ms. Simons. I do have a question about this item. I'm just curious why this was scheduled as a special, separate from the other items today.
This item was initially put in for approval earlier in the fiscal year, and at some point it got lost in the process, and it has only been approved now. And these are to pay fees and fees for old invoices that are potentially accruing late fees. So it's a quick approval in order to pay those invoices.
Mr. Jordan, did you want to add something?
Yes, it was also at my recommendation that the Bureau bring this to the board on a special meeting agenda.
So this is your fault, Mr. Jordan.
It's not my fault. It's my. Anyway, but it was at my recommendation that we not wait any longer than we had to approve this.
I see. Okay. I appreciate it. And this item, so this just got lost administratively, or it wasn't scheduled? Can you just explain?
That is my understanding, yes.
Okay. And then what we're approving for us today, is this inclusive of these fines that you're mentioning?
It does include the fines too.
And can you just share how much of this is the permit fee, and then how much of this is a fine?
This is the $250,000 is for multiple invoices that come in through the year, in addition to application fees and other items. So it's comprehensive. The invoice that is that's overdue, is the permit renewal fee, and that is approximately $87,000. And actually I was just adding it up. The overdue fee is $14,664.10.
Okay.
It's substantial.
And so, process-wise, administratively, what are we going to do? What is LECN going to do to ensure that this doesn't happen, so that we don't incur late fees in the future and lose track of invoices to pay?
We're discussing that. I'm not sure how that's going to proceed. I know many invoices have like rush stamps on them. Some proposed ideas are to have stamps on AEs that are for regulatory fees, something that separates it from the rest of the AFEs for payment is one option, or possibly a dashboard to see where the progress is.
Okay.
Those are two things I'd been recommending. I actually have not heard any other recommendations yet.
Okay, Ms. Simons. And obviously we're in a transition point here on the board, and you know, the LA SAN liaison right now is you know, being determined, but you do have your LA SAN backup right now, which I believe is Commissioner Villegas, but I would highly recommend that you circle back with her and whoever is your LA SAN liaison to make sure that this doesn't happen again, process-wise. We hate to be late to paying any fees, of course, but especially ones that are as important as this one for really critical permits. And, you know, we don't want to pay fines that we don't have to unnecessarily because we lost track of an invoice. So I would highly recommend that you elevate this and ensure that this doesn't happen again, because it looks like, as you mentioned, this was stamped as a rush last year, you know, and we're now in March of 2022. So
Yeah.
And you know, thanks for coming up with some solutions to let us know how the board can be helpful so that this doesn't happen again.
We'll also be discussing it in-house. But thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Ms. Simons.
Sure.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. Dr. Davis, any questions on this item?
Yes, you explained that the late charge was $14,000. What were some of the itemizations of the $250,000 that we have to expend here? This is for membership, right?
No, this is for permit fees and admission fees.
Okay, and how much are the permit fees?
Permit fees this year were $87,000. Specifically $87,241.27.
And what was the other expenditure?
The other expenditures are coming up. They will be for admissions fees, which are yet to be determined, and then future applications for permit.
What is our projection?
I'm sorry.
What is our projection for both of those items?
For admissions fees, the estimate is, I apologize.
No problem.
Approximately $20,000.
Okay. And what about the other fee that you mentioned?
The other fees would be for permit modifications applications, and that would be for the balance.
Okay. So do we get notification, an invoice from the agency, the regulatory agency that we are paying?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And so when those invoices come in for payment, they go where?
The first level is I receive them, and I review them for accuracy and approve them from there.
Okay. So, and then you forward them to where?
In this case, it would be to our administrative group.
And who is that?
Arnold Taylor.
Okay. And then when Arnold has it, do you have knowledge of what he does with it?
I believe it goes to our purchasing group.
Okay. And then, to your understanding, what happens when it leaves purchasing?
My understanding now is, I didn't have all of this before, is that it goes to LA SAN purchasing downtown.
Uh-huh. And then what happens when it gets to LA SAN?
Then I believe it starts its approval process through LA SAN Exec.
Okay. And then after that, what happens?
After that, it's scheduled for board and then board approval.
Okay. And so somewhere during the process, it never got to executive on time to give to board approval?
No. And I was also a little bit late to catch this because I did a board briefing, I believe in September. So I thought it was on its way. But then when a board approval hadn't been scheduled, and that's when I started following up on it.
So yeah, nobody really needs a lecture in terms of administrative process and procedures. We all know that open communications are critically important, that it ought not be a secret of what the hierarchical structure is, nor ought it be a secret what the process is. And everybody along the ladder, regardless of what his or her perceived power is or is not, everyone should be aware of what that process is. And I think that you make an outstanding suggestion in terms of a dashboard, because that dashboard would reflect me and your discussion. It would let us know about the various steps along the process, and so that we can all see where it is. I think because of what we're seeking here, and the outcome is to go through the process and get it paid in a timely manner, that a dashboard is an appropriate recommendation. So I thank you for sharing that information with us today, and look forward to supporting moving this item forward.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Davis. Shuri, I have a couple of questions too. And I would appreciate that if, you know, I went through the transmittals and I didn't see a breakdown of the $250,000, and I didn't hear a breakdown with your presentation. So in the future, I would appreciate a transparency around that piece of where the money is coming and how it's broken down. You said there's $87,000 for fees, the permit fees, $20,000 for something else, and that only gives us about 107, 110. What is the rest of the money, the 154?
The rest of that will be for emissions fees, which are yet to be calculated. Those aren't set; those are calculated at the end of the year, and then that amount is determined then. So it's based on the actual emissions from previous year.
And you're projecting a 150,000 somewhat?
No, for emissions fees, approximately 20,000.
Okay, so I'm hearing 87 and 20, but you're asking for 250.
I apologize. There are also other miscellaneous fees that come in for, let's see, got a couple of the invoices, for annual facility fees, for forward on fiscal year emissions, and there's also both, for emissions, there's both current year and previous year. And current year is going to be approximately 20,000, or for the balance of last year, and then another approximately 20,000 for that. Grand total for emissions fees are approximately $40,000. They're paid in installments, and the first installment is due, or will be coming due.
Okay, I'm still not seeing all the way to 250 there.
I apologize. And there are also the late fees are associated with this. That was approximately $14,000 for the renewal fee. Okay. And then the balance would be for various permit applications. For example, for modifying permit for a gas dispensing facility. Another one we're going to be doing is, I apologize, I don't have that list in front of me. What's the other one? We have about 3 permits that we're going to be modifying, and there are modification fees associated with those permits.
Okay. In the future, can when there's something like this, can you just break down where the different allocated money will go to? It's really hard that it sounds like we're like fishing for what's going to happen. And when Dr. Davis was asking for the breakdown, I only got to half of the money, so
Yeah, this is a projection of needs. There are some invoices that are recurring every year, such as permit renewal fees and emission fees, and other application fees are items that come up, so those are anticipated and budgeted for.
Okay. Again, I will stress it out that I want transparency, so if it's to the most possible, in a chart, in a graph, or just tell us where all this money is going to. Sure. If it's late fees, it's late fees, and we know exactly what it is. So I would really make sure that you take that message back. And also, I know Dina's here too. I said it on the last report that we had also very little information on. So I'll say it once again, transparency, please. We want to make sure we're approving the right things.
Okay.
Let me ask a point of clarification. When we have motions that come before the board and people are presenting, do they give us supportive documentation before presentation? So if I'm coming in to ask for $1 million, do I have some paperwork that I send to the board that justifies what I'm trying to do, or do I tell you verbally? How does it work?
Well, there are transmittals, and I just went through the transmittals right now, and I didn't see anything that has a breakdown of the money that you were asking for. It has by the way, you did the briefing back in October with President Good, and then I understand that it got lost from there. So
I see.
Yeah. So there's not a breakdown, Dr. Davis, on the transmittal. So it's just very general, and I just wanted more transparency if we can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, colleagues, is there a motion to move this item forward? And I believe Dr. Davis said that.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Dr. Davis has put a motion to move this item forward. Is there a second?
A second. Knowing that Ms. Simons will come back with some likely reforms.
And the departments can count on us asking for an itemization, whether they submit it in writing or not.
Yeah, perfect. Great. All right. That's first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Pelosa. TJ?
Yes, very good, Madam Vice President. How do you vote, Madam Vice President?
Aye.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Pelosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. All ayes on special agenda item number 12 has been approved. We do have a request to move forthwith, if that's acceptable.
Great. Yes, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Simons, thank you for your time, and I appreciate you being here with us today, and have a good rest of the weekend.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right, colleagues, that was our only item on the special. With that, it seems like we're done with any voting items. We can adjourn today's meeting. All right. Thank you, everyone. Management meeting has been canceled for today, and we'll see you all next Wednesday.
Thank you. Everybody have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank
you. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Takuma. It's Sherry. Just wondering how things are going. If you can give me a call back, that'd be appreciated. Thank you.